On today's episode of the Football Fellowship podcast, we are going to be taking a very in-depth look into Liverpool's 2-0 victory over Arsenal in the FA Cup. There were a lot of tactical tweaks, and hopefully we can work out why it truly was a game of two halves. We're also going to be summarising the rest of the weekend's actions, seeing how the Prem sides got on, and also taking a look at the Tyne Wear Derby, which saw Newcastle triumph Sunderland 3-0. But the bulk of today's episode, you'll be glad to hear, is the Tenables special. 3 Tenables each for us to face, 6 overall for you to play along at home and see how you do. And at the end of today's episode, we will have a victor of the second season of the quiz.
Welcome back to the Football Fellowship podcast. That was Toby with the intro, and of course he's joined by myself, Mevin, as usual. Like he said, no Premier League fixtures, but it was a nice welcome break with the FA Cup. But unfortunately, probably not for you, Toby, since your side Arsenal lost, and that's where we will start with Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, I think going into the game, I wouldn't say I was confident, but I think being at home, no Mo Salah, I thought we've got a good chance, and if there's any chance we're going to be able to beat Liverpool this season, it's come at the right time for us. Just right from the off of the game, I really did notice Arsenal's shape was different to how it has been in sort of the last month or two. And I think that's probably a welcome change, given how we have played in recent weeks. Our form has dropped off quite dramatically, and we have been really struggling to pick up results. I think it was only 1 win in 6 in the last games. And the big change of that was Jorginho coming into the side. It meant on the ball, we were more looking like we had two double pivot. We had 2 6s, Rice and Jorginho sitting alongside each other to create a 3-2-5 as opposed to, I suppose, probably the 2-3-5 that we normally see from Arsenal. White really sort of dropped back to make a back 3. White, Saliba and Gabriel. Rice and Jorginho sitting in front. Saka, Odegaard, Havertz playing up front, which I think he started the game very well. Nelson coming inside and interchanging with Kivior, who was sort of playing a hybrid fullback role, sometimes overlapping, sometimes inverting. So it was a welcome change, I think, in that first half and something that was needed. In terms of Liverpool, how did you feel they set up in this game from the off?
Yeah, I think it was as strong as Liverpool could have gone, considering the fact that you have players out through injury, you have players at African Cup of Nations, some players at the Asia Cup as well, and of course the big miss on the day, which no one knew about beforehand, was the fact that Virgil van Dijk himself was also injured, not only just Mo Salah. So it was the fact that you had a centre-back partnership of Ibrahim Konate and Jarrell Kwanzaa. Of course, Kwanzaa has come into the season and really, been a wonder boy. What does he call it? Starboy. That's it. That's what everyone on Twitter calls all the young starlets. Starboy, and he's done really well and really impressed me. But of course, it was the first time that Konate and Kwanzaa started alongside each other in what was a very big game going into it. Because of course, the FA Cup is an important fixture, and more than anything else, I think the fact that it's against Arsenal, against someone who you're going to be, going up against for the league title, you don't want to be giving them any mental advantage. And that was my main thing, because ultimately I didn't really care about the FA Cup in general, but it's because of the fact that Liverpool are also in the semi-finals of the League Cup. And I think because we're so far in that competition, that has to take priority. But the fact that your club went with such a strong side, I was really happy, actually. And what was really interesting to see was who was playing on that right-hand side for Liverpool in Mo Salah's absence. And it turned out in the first half to be Harvey Elliott. And he's played there on numerous occasions. However, he did struggle in that first half. I think, like you said, Kivior playing a left-back. I think Harvey Elliott was a perfect opponent for him. Because if it was Mo Salah has the turn of pace, he has the world-class ability, and he can turn Kivior left and right. But with Harvey Elliott not having a great burst of acceleration. He's quick, but he's not Mo Salah rapid. Kivior could always be touch tight to Harvey Elliott, which meant that anytime Elliott did get the ball on that right-hand side, he always had to pass the ball back or into midfield, and there was never really any threat in behind from Elliott, which I thought was a bit of a shame, and that did require Liverpool to make a tactical adjustment later on in the game. But I thought for that first half, Liverpool, the team they put out should have done better, but at Emirates, in a fixture, without some of their best players on the pitch, that, they did struggle in the first half, and Arsenal did really dominate.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point about Elliott being pinned back by Kivior and the way that he consistently had to play the ball back. I think you had that almost across your whole midfield. That midfield 4, I suppose you could say, the setup was off the ball. I think when you won that ball quickly and was still in that off the ball shape, it was sort of like a 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1 when Gakpo was dropping in. And I think the way we set up, really getting a lot of numbers in there, still having Rice and Jorginho sitting in there to prevent any counters, which worked really well in that first half. And it just meant kept pushing the ball back to your defenders. And it meant you really struggled to get out of that first half, especially even Diaz. You'd think maybe he could be an outlet for you. But with Saka, Odegaard, Rice and White even pushing up at times, sometimes we had 4 players on that right-hand side, mid and attacking third. Diaz had to come back and help defend for a lot of it, and it meant you didn't really have any outlets. And I think that's why in that first half we dominated the chances, dominated the possessions, because the way we set up prevented you from getting out yourselves. And throughout the first half, it was, for me, the best we have played in months. I think it was really, really, really good performance up until the final pass or the final shot, because as good as we played, it was incredibly frustrating to watch. So many opportunities where you think, just hit it first time or have that better first touch to open up a shot and take it, because we did have, I think it was probably 12, 13 shots, racked up an XG of over sort of 1.2, 1.3. So we really should have had a goal in that first half. But just so many opportunities where we took the shot too late. We weren't getting any power on the shots. We weren't really testing Alisson too much, despite the fact that we made so many options. Havertz and Nelson, I think, combined really well. They were interchanging a lot. Havertz sometimes dropping in, Nelson coming through the middle. Saka and Odegaard had some really good combinations, which is something that has lacked in the last few months, as I've said. Just so many things where we have lacked. And in this game, we really, really picked it up. And I think going into that halftime, I was really worried, because with a fantastic manager like Jurgen Klopp, you know he's going to change something. You know he's going to say something that is going to completely change the game. And once we went into that game 0-0 and did not take our chances, I thought this second half is going to be completely different. And it was, unfortunately, for me.
Yeah, it was, and thankfully for me as a Liverpool fan. But I think I do have to say on Arsenal, I think the XG in that first half was quite high, but I think it could have been even higher, because I think the quality of, I think the opportunities in which the Arsenal players got the ball was greater than what the chance they ended up having was. And I think sometimes if Havertz maybe had a shot a bit quicker, or if a pass was a bit crisper, then Arsenal got themselves into some really good positions. And if they had got the shot off and was maybe a bit more clinical on the day, then they easily, like you said, could have been a goal or two up. But then when you weren't, I did think to myself, Liverpool need to change something, and change something fast. And like you said, Jurgen Klopp, with his tactical tweak, you don't necessarily need to make a change in the side through substitution. You can something do with the players you have on the pitch. And that's one thing about that Liverpool 3 and Harvey Elliott, is that they are so versatile and they can play in numerous positions along the front line. And what it was Harvey Elliott from the right-hand side of the attack, dropping into midfield. And what I thought was going to be Cody Gakpo on the right, but it's actually Cody Gakpo down the middle now, Luis Diaz off to the right, and Darwin Núñez down the left. And instead of trying to attack with Darwin Núñez down the middle through Gabriel and Saliba, which obviously are two of the best centre-backs in the league, very difficult to get through, then we ended up trying to go behind the fullbacks of Ben White and Kiwior, who don't have the pace of Núñez and Diaz. And I thought not only the positional change of the players, but the tactical tweak and how we're going to approach trying to break Arsenal down was what was really, encouraging to see, and what really turned the game on its head. All of a sudden, the game's going end to end. It's becoming a bit like basketball. And then you saw Liverpool players gaining confidence, rising their heads up and going, do you know what, we can actually try and get something from here. Because I think Klopp went to halftime saying, whatever happens, I don't want to replay. And Liverpool came out and played like that. And, they had some good chances. It was a bit ropey at times, because Arsenal also did have chances. But eventually, a chance did come and Liverpool did take it. But yeah, I did think I was a bit disappointed with Arsenal in that second half, especially with Mikel Arteta's substitutions, because I thought to myself, and maybe you can answer this better, I was surprised that Reece Nelson came off. I thought that Saka, while doing some bits right, was actually the worst winger on the day. And I was actually surprised that Reece Nelson didn't stay on and move over to the right-hand side and Trossard come on the left. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I think you've said what a lot of the Arsenal fans were thinking as well. Saka hasn't had as good a season as he did last year, and I think this game probably epitomised that. Despite our really good first half performance, he was the weakest link in that sort of attacking five, and I think the substitution of Trossard on for Saka as opposed to Nelson probably would have suited better. There are a lot of calls for Nketiah to come on a little bit earlier than he did. For me, I don't think he would have done much, and I just feel like his movement restricts our attack. I don't think he links up the play enough, and I think this game has maybe showed that we need a player that can do both. We need a player who can link up the play and also take shots when the space is there, not just scoring the goals, but having the initiative to take the shots earlier. Maybe that's something that can be brought in training. Maybe that's something that can be brought in the January transfer window. I'm not sure, but looking at the last 4 games and our XG and the shots and the possession we've had, something has got to change pretty quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I think the recent run of form is worrying. I guess the only thing you could maybe take as a positive is that compared to last season, where it was at the end of the season, at least now it's happening in the middle of the season, and maybe you have an opportunity to correct it with a week break for the winter break, or in the January transfer window if you wish to do so. I think we should probably talk about the goals, starting off with the first one, the own goal from Kivio, which I thought was quite unfortunate because I think absolutely anyone in that melee could have got themselves a flick on in that. But it happened to be Kivio. I don't think he was expecting the ball to be able to hit his head, but I think that was the quality of the Trent Alexander-Arnold ball. It meant that an Arsenal player felt like they had to put their head onto it no matter what, because otherwise there's going to be a Liverpool player behind them. And unfortunately, it did mean that it wrong-footed Ramsdale, and the ball went into Arsenal's net, and then they were 1-0 up. And I think at that moment in time, Arsenal fans probably had the fear that all these chances are going to go to waste, and then it became a reality. And I think from there, the players, they didn't really create much after that, which was a bit of a worry. And then obviously, very late on in the game, Liverpool did go ahead and make it 2-0 as well, with Luis Diaz with a fantastic counter. And I do think that Diogo Jota, when he came on, I thought his cameo was excellent. I think ever since he's come back from his injury, his performance off the bench has been exceptional. I think he's got like 2 goals and 2 assists off the bench since he came back from his injury. But I think in this game, I think it was something like, I don't have the stats on top of I've written down, but I think from the top of my head, he had an 80% pass accuracy. He won both his ground duels, he won both his aerial duels. He hit the woodwork once, and he got 1 assist. And I think he was a fantastic player when he did come on, and he really was a game changer. Someone in the final third, clinical, and that's something that without Mo Salah, Liverpool definitely have to be.
Yeah, that second goal finish from Diaz was a brilliant finish, and as you've said, sort of created by Jota and his energy coming on. He's going to be a really good asset for you, and I think that those 5 sort of attacking players you have now are really going to be able to step up in Mo Salah's absence, and I think we'll see them shine a little bit more, which would be really good to see. And just touching on that first goal, as you said, Trent with fantastic delivery again. In that second half, he had the opportunity to sit in front of those centre-backs a lot more, play a lot of those balls over the top of our full-backs, as you said, where we have struggled to defend, exploit those spaces, exploit the pace of Nunez and Diaz, and completely change the game. Yeah, 2 game changers in there, Trent and Jota for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we should probably talk about the other games in the FA Cup, most notably the Tyne Wear Derby, Sunderland versus Newcastle. But it was all one-sided. The derby didn't matter on the day because it was all red and white. Black and white rather. No, black and white, not red and white. Newcastle won. Sunderland got hammered. Unfortunately, I'm sure Sunderland fans wish that they won the game. But it was a good game. I thought it was very fiercely contested, as you would expect it to be. However, it was all Newcastle, wasn't it, Toby?
Yeah, I think the quality in the sides is pretty big. Obviously, Newcastle have had such big investment, signed some really, really brilliant players. And Sunderland themselves are still working their way back up following their sort of demotion down into League One. But I think in that first half especially, Sunderland put up a really good fight and were definitely in the game throughout. I think maybe not in terms of sort of creating chances, but in terms of putting up a fight. And for the difference in quality, I think they played well. Sunderland, just Newcastle were better on the day and better overall. But the one takeaway from this game for me is how much I think I've forgotten about the Tyne Wear Derby. Back when they were both in the Prem, it was always one of the best derbies, always one of the best atmospheres, so many sort of memorable games. And I think just having that back for the FA Cup this weekend was really, really good.
Yeah, it really was. And it was just, like you said, a nice reminder of the fact that, there are loads of rivalries between clubs, but they're not necessarily in the Premier League, which is a shame, especially this one, because it is so fiercely contested. But yeah, I think Sunderland, they tried to go toe to toe with Newcastle on the day, which I thought was a bit of a mistake. However, if you look at, I don't know, the positions in the league, I guess Sunderland are very high in the Championship. Newcastle are obviously going for the Champions League and are obviously much better, but it being a derby didn't really make too much of a difference. Newcastle just had too much quality. I think Ballard, I've seen a little bit of him in the Championship, and I think he's a decent player, but he had a bit of a stinker. I saw a lot of people saying online afterwards that Newcastle had a great performance with 12 men playing Isak and Ballard up front for them, but putting the ball into his own net, and then the foul he conceded for the third goal for the penalty. I just thought, what on earth are you doing? And I think it was so late on in the game, it was clear Sunderland weren't going to get back into the game. I think he just lost his head completely and just wanted to take someone out just to make himself feel better. But I thought he had a pretty bad game. But Isak had two fantastic finishes. He's going to be so important for Newcastle going forward for the rest of the second half of the season. But I think most importantly for Newcastle, some much needed momentum, don't you agree?
Yeah, they have been really struggling in recent weeks. Across the board, really. I don't think we can pin it down to sort of goal scoring problems or defensive problems. It just seemed flat. I think, like you've said, they really needed something to lift them, and a 3-0 away win against Sunderland is huge. It's about as big as a victory as you can get for Newcastle and their fans. And that's a big point as well. I think they had 6,000 fans at Sunderland. Obviously, with the FA Cup, you do get a greater allocation. And for them, the travelling fans, for the club, really, really big result. And just got to translate that into the league now, because they are slowly slipping. I'm not sure how many points sort of off Chelsea and Wolves they are now. They have sort of slipped that low, so they've got to turn it around quick if they do want to be back in that Champions League next season, because we're over halfway through the season now, so it's crunch time.
Absolutely, no excuses. The final results will show with your league position, and the league table doesn't lie, as they say. So the one game I do really want to talk about, and we're only just going to briefly mention it because neither of us watched the game, but just want to give a shout out to Maidstone United, the team who are in National League South, who beat Stevenage and now into the last 16 of the FA Cup. What a fantastic result for them as a club, and this is really the magic of the FA Cup. Anyone can be matched against anyone, and anyone can beat anyone on the day, as is the way football is. And it is a fantastic story for a club who are, really don't deserve to be in this stage of the competition, don't have any right to be here, but a fantastic story. Don't you agree?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. They have no right, but they thoroughly deserve to be there. That's one thing I love about the FA Cup, is the journeys of the smaller teams getting through. And I was saying this this weekend, actually, that with, I think, sort of the explosion of the Champions League and the Premier League, the FA Cup is a competition that really gets forgotten sometimes. And I feel like that's such a shame, with it being sort of the oldest club competition in history, in football history. And just because maybe the money's not big in it, everyone just wants to win the Premier League and the Champions League these days, the magic of the FA Cup needs reminding with teams like this and games like this and games like the Newcastle Sunderland derby. It's a really fantastic competition, and I really hope they keep having it on the weekend and having breaks from the Premier League so that it doesn't go into sort of obscurity, because unfortunately, the way the league and Champions League work, it does feel like it could do that sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about big gaps in between two teams, you and me in Tenable, the quiz, how was that for transition?
That was a beautiful transition, because it was probably a compliment to myself as well. So I'll take it.
Yes, it is that time of the quiz, time of the episode. Oh God, I'm fluffing. I did so well, and now I'm messing it up as soon as we're not talking.
you did too well at the start, mate. You've got rid of all your transition energy.
I know. As soon as we stop talking about the football, the structure of the football, and now we get into the quiz, that part of the podcast, then my words do start to fail me. But it's only because I'm nervous, because this is a big one, isn't it, Toby?
Oh, it's huge. It's as big as it gets. I'm sitting on a 3-point lead at the moment, which is not much in Tenable, as we are doing 3 each as well. If Mev gets one more in each of them, then he'll tie it up. So yeah, I am on 67. Mev is on 64. We have 3 Tenables each, and they are going to be slightly shorter this week. We figured cut out the thinking time. 3 minutes per Tenable. Same rules as always, 3 lives, and then that 4th incorrect guess, the time stops wherever you are. So, how would you like to do this, my friend? Would you like to go first, or would you like to give me yours first?
I think as a person who's trailing, since we're doing 3 each, I think I should be the one to start. I do have to say, I forgot it was 3 minutes, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I will guess first. I just need to find some space in my planner. But yeah, go on. 3 minutes. I will go first.
Nice. Okay, let's start you off. I think with. Do you want the toughest one, the medium one, or the probably always the easier one?
I want to go
just
easy.
Whatever. Just whatever.
I want to go easy to hard.
Okay. Let's give you the. Yeah, this is the easiest one.
Okay.
Nice start, good warm up. You have 3 minutes to name the last 10 Premier League winning captains. Your time starts now.
Captains. Okay, let's go for Jordan Henderson.
Jordan Henderson is correct. 2019-20.
Yeah, let's go for Ilkay Gundogan.
Gundogan is tenable, most recent, 22-23.
22-23. Let's go for Vincent Kompany.
Vincent Kompany is tenable. In 2018-19 was his most recent victories captain.
18-19. After Kompany, it was... Okay, so let's go for Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker is not tenable, unfortunately.
Only made captain this year. Okay, never mind. Who won it under Antonio Conte? I think that was still John... No. Oh, no, that's Aspilicueta. I'm going to say Cesar Aspilicueta.
He is not tenable either, unfortunately.
Oh, God. So was it actually... Oh, God. Now I don't know. Oh, the 3 minutes has got to me. I shouldn't have... I've panicked. You've
still got 2 incorrect guesses left. It's one life, 2 incorrect guesses. So.
Okay. For Leicester, I'm going to say Wes Morgan.
Wes Morgan is tenable in 2015-16.
Okay. It wouldn't be Vincent Kompany in 13-14. I can't say him again. So it would be for Man United. He was Man United's captain. It was... Oh no. Was Rio there? Yes, was Vidic there. Who was captain? Rio, Vidic, Scholes, Rooney. Who's captain? Ooh, how much time do I have left?
You've got 1 minute 15 seconds.
How many have I got? 3.
4.
Okay, I'm going to say John Terry.
John Terry is tenable. He was the 16-17 Conte as his most recent Premier League win. 1 minute left.
Who? Oh, they were all captains at United side. Evra was captain in... Oh, dear. I'm going to say...
seconds left.
I'm going to say Rio Ferdinand.
He is not tenable, unfortunately.
Is that me done then?
Nope, you've got 1 incorrect guess left. 30 seconds left as well. So you're looking, 2013 and before is probably your best bet.
Do I know from before?
There's a few United names in there.
Okay. Patrick Vieira.
Patrick Vieira is tenable. He was 03-04. He's the
earliest name. Roy Keane.
And Roy Keane, unfortunately, is not tenable. He would have been, I think, obviously the seasons before Vieira. So you were looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points on that one. The names you were missing was the Man City captain in 21-22.
21? Oh, was it? No. Was it Diaz?
It was Fernandinho.
Oh, yes, I knew that.
3 United captains, 12-13, 08-09 and 07-08.
Gary Neville was one.
Gary Neville was one in 08-09.
And I don't know the others, I'll be honest.
Ryan Giggs was 07-08. And it was Vidic in 12-13.
Oh, God, okay. Yeah, all right.
So 6 points. That's a decent start. That's about average, we say, isn't it? 6 or 7. So
yeah, I'll tell you what. The 3 minutes, it really just put pressure on me to go. So I didn't realize how much having 5 minutes was actually kind of electric. I could talk through it. It'd be quite chill.
It flew by. It really flew by. So I'm a bit nervous now after that.
Yeah. Well, you ready?
I am ready.
So for you, Toby, to start with, I want you to name me 10 Spanish managers who have managed a Premier League club. Your time starts now.
Okay, so we will start off, obviously, with the GOAT, Mikel Arteta.
Yes, that is tenable.
And we will obviously go for the GOAT's assistant, Pep.
Yes, that is tenable.
Let's go for Rafa Benitez.
Yes, tenable.
Lopetegui of Wolves.
That is correct.
Roberto Martinez
That is correct.
of Wigan and Everton. Okay, right, this is where I need to think now. They were the first ones that came to my head.
5, and you've only used 40 seconds.
Unai Emery.
Is tenable.
Right. Oh, no, he was Portuguese. I was going to say Andre Villas-Boas.
He was Portuguese, yeah.
Right, okay. Oh, I can't think of many more off the top of my head now. I don't think Chelsea had any Spanish managers. Not that I can think of. Ooh, this is tough. Pellegrini, no, he's Chilean. I just had one and it's gone. Is Marco Silva Spanish or Portuguese? I think he's Portuguese. I'm going to say him anyway. Marco Silva.
That is not tenable.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Where is he from?
I think he's Portuguese.
Is he?
Yeah.
I can't remember,
Right.
actually.
Spanish managers. I'm trying to think of teams managers, which I don't know if it's the right way to go, really. Oh dear, this is tough.
You've got a minute left. Do we want clues?
No. I'm Arsenal, City. Damn, I'm struggling. Pochettino, no, he was Argentinian. Oh dear, I've absolutely racked them off at the start, and now just completely fallen short. Iraola.
That is tenable, yes. Currently playing, managing Bournemouth.
Is there any other currents? I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
10 seconds. Chuck some names out. Why not?
Southampton, Leicester. No, Bielsa's Argentinian as well. I keep thinking of Spanish-speaking managers, but
That is your time.
what was that?
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take that. That puts me up to 74. You are on 70 at the moment. So extend it by 1 point. I'll take it.
Well,
What were the names I missed?
you're missing Ida Karanka,
Oh, yeah.
Bruno Salter, Brighton.
Salter. Wow, I would never have got that.
He was Brighton interim. Was he Chelsea interim as well for a bit?
Yes, I know who. Does he have a beard? Or have I
Yes, he does. I think he was what's it, goalie? Yeah.
He possibly. Yeah, I know who you mean now.
You're missing Kike Sanchez Flores.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know if you remember Pepe Mel at West Brom.
It rings a bell. Yeah, I wouldn't have said it, but it rings a bell.
Javier Garcia.
Again, it rings a bell, but I can't.
He was
put a face to the
Watford.
name.
Uh,
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Juan de Ramos.
No idea.
I think it was Spurs for a bit.
Fair.
Recently, Ruben Sellers at Southampton.
Oh yeah.
And this one, which I didn't even realise he managed, was in the Premier League, was Francisco Javier Nunes Lompard, aka Cisco. He managed 7 matches for Watford in the 21-22 season.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm happy with that then, because I think I got the big ones. So
Yeah,
the rest I don't think I would have ever got. So I'll take a 7. I'm happy
that's
with that.
fair. And you've extended your lead, which is great.
Okay, right.
And that was your easiest one, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to what I would say. I'd say this is probably similar difficulty to the last one. You probably will get more, actually. But you have 3 minutes to name Liverpool's other 10 starting players in the infamous Steven Gerrard slip game versus Chelsea in April 2014. Your time starts now.
Mignolet in goal.
That is tenable. He was the keeper.
Mamadou Sakho at centre back.
That is also tenable.
God, right, okay. Centre back. So Gerrard. Henderson wasn't there because suspended. We had Suarez.
Luis Suarez starting up top, of course. That is tenable.
Sturridge.
Sturridge was actually on the bench that game.
That
is not tenable.
Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling is tenable. That's 4 now.
Gerrard was at the base of midfield. Henderson was suspended. Philip Coutinho.
That is also tenable. Flying through these.
Joe Allen.
Joe Allen, he was there. Also tenable. The Welsh Jesus.
Yeah, because it is a 4-4-2 diamond, so who's on the other side of that diamond? Gerrard at the base, Allen on one side, Coutinho on the 10. I'm assuming with Suarez and Sterling up top. Henderson was suspended because he got a red card against Man City. So don't know. Who was the fullbacks? Sakho was playing because Agger was on the bench, and Sakho made the pass just before Gerrard's slip. Who was the other centre back? It must have been Martin Skirtle.
Martin Skirtle is tenable. He was there.
At fullbacks, we had Glenn Johnson. We didn't have Klein yet. But at left back, it was either Ali Sissoko or John Flanagan. And I'm going to go for John Flanagan.
John Flanagan is tenable. That is a brilliant shout.
Okay, and I've still got live, so I'm going to go for Glenn Johnson at right back.
Glenn Johnson is also tenable. Absolutely smash this one, mate. You've got 9 out of 10 so far. Just the one player missing, and you have a minute left.
And
3 incorrect guesses still left too.
No, who's in midfield? Oh, Nuri Sahin was the season before. Lucas, I'm pretty sure. Would Lucas been playing in the 6? No. So does Gerrard at the base, Henderson on the right, Coutinho on the left, Sterling in the 10, and then Suarez and Sturridge up top. But who was in the squad?
30 seconds left.
I have no idea if he was playing or not, but let's go with Victor Moses.
Victor Moses is not tenable, unfortunately. He wasn't on the bench either, by the looks of it, no.
Okay, let's then go for Lucas Leiva.
Lucas Leiva, unfortunately, for me, is tenable. Well,
yes!
10 out of 10.
Oh,
huge performance.
God. It's weird.
A monstrous one.
You chose, if I had a specialist subject, it would be the Liverpool 13-14 season. So
I thought it would be a memorable one for you, so I thought this was a fun game to do, because there was a few weird names in there, like Joe Allen, Flanagan, and Leiva, and Sakho, probably all those sorts of players you wouldn't expect maybe to start every game that season. So
yeah, but I just remember. Oh, I remember I think that was the last game of football I cried at. So yeah, because I think what was it? Willian and Torres running up the pitch and then tapping it in a sweaty goal to make it 2-0. I remember I just ran upstairs and just cried in my bedroom.
When Sturridge wasn't playing, I thought you might have said Aspas, who was on the bench, because he obviously took the corner. I really remember that he took the corner for the second goal, where he just basically passed it through to Chelsea for some strange reason.
I know, and I still to this day I don't know what he saw, but 10 massive performance by myself.
That is huge.
Very happy with that. So that takes me up to 80.
It does.
Right, well, Toby, it's only going to get harder for you from here on. Oh god, my camera's gone. So hang on, let me just sort my camera out for you. I think I've been moving around, getting too excited. Okay, for your topic, I would like you to name me 10 players who have worn the number 12 shirt for Arsenal in Premier League history. Your time starts now.
Okay, so Giroud.
That is tenable.
Thierry Henry when he returned.
That is also tenable.
Have we got a number 12 at the moment? I'm not sure we do. 12. God, this is hard. This is super. Did Saliba wear 12? I'm pretty sure he was either 22 or 12. I'm going to go Saliba.
That is tenable. He was the second most recent to wear it.
Second most recent? That means there must be someone with it now.
I'll tell you there is.
Yeah. It's not Raya. I think he's 22. Who is it now? 12, 12, 12. It must be someone we signed. Someone must have taken it off him, obviously. I can't think, so I need to go to somewhere. I need to think of past players, really. God, number 12. This is super tough. Trying to think of that sort of, maybe like the Walcott sort of era of Arsenal. Did Andre Santos ever wear 12? Let's go for Andre Santos.
That is not tenable, I'm afraid.
Nope. That's fine.
Maybe this a bit hard. Think about a new signing for Arsenal.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out.
A new signing for Arsenal this summer.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it might be Raya is 12. He's either 12 or 22. Let's go down to Raya.
That is not tenable.
Oh no.
You forgot. There's one you might have forgotten. A new signing.
Oh, Kivior.
No.
Is he not?
No. Oh, sorry.
Oh god, that's 3 lives left. I've still got one left. I've still got one incorrect signing.
Oh my god. He's injured. He's been injured all season.
Oh, I did forget about him. Jurian Timber.
He is tenable. Now think of a former Arsenal player who's now at Fulham.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out again.
A former Arsenal player who's now at Fulham.
Oh, Cedric, was he one? Nice. You're just giving me these.
It's not Cedric.
Oh, is it? It was a Wobie, isn't it?
No.
Former Arsenal players now at Fulham.
It's Willian.
Oh, Leno. Oh, Willian. I should have just gone for the older players there.
Oh my god. I didn't realise how many former Arsenal players there are for them.
Don't tell me not anymore. I feel like there must be some. I feel like I was going to say like Abue and Sanya. I think maybe we're 12 at one point, but.
Oh, sorry. I was really trying to help you because I was like, I've made this way too hard, and I felt like I stitched you up, so I wanted to help you.
That's very kind.
Sorry. So, Willian was. Well, hang on. To be fair, you got 4.
Four's not too bad.
Okay, which brings you to 78. But other notable ones, you had Stefan Listeiner.
Oh yeah.
Carlos Vela.
Okay, yeah, I never would have guessed he was 12.
Laurent was number 12.
Oh, I was going to say him, but I thought he was number 2. I was like, I was very confident he was 12 initially, and then I thought, no, he's not, he's 2, and I completely didn't say it.
Martin Keown was number 12 for a season.
Fair enough. Would never have said that, yeah.
Steve Bold was also number 12 for 2 years.
Interesting.
And the rest were really hard, but I thought maybe you had I thought you would at least, get 6 or 7 easily, and then the rest were like.
I should have got Lauren. That is really poor from me. I taught myself out of it.
Sorry, I sabotaged you.
No. It was good. It was an Arsenal one. I'm not very good at the Arsenal ones.
Oh god, how many former Arsenal players are at Fulham?
Yeah, that's so funny.
I was just like, when he went to Leno, I was just like, I'm gonna put my head through a wall. Okay, so this, I guess, this is my last chance.
Right.
Yes, I need to get as many as possible here.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm looking for the last 10 winners of the Championship playoffs. You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Oh, I'm screwed. Okay, who won it last year? It wasn't Burnley. It was Luton. It's okay. Luton Town.
That is tenable in 2023.
Who was it the year before? Don't have a clue. Okay. Huddersfield won once.
Huddersfield are tenable. They won it in 2017.
They've been up so many times. I feel like I'm gonna say Watford.
Watford are not tenable, unfortunately.
Oh dear, I'm really gonna struggle with this. Okay. Which teams have been promoted recently? Bournemouth,
That's
Brentford.
a minute gone.
Let's go through the league table. Where West Ham have been recently enough. Newcastle. I feel like Newcastle dominated. West Brom. No, they went down after being up. Jeez. Hull City? Maybe. Cardiff City? Oh dear. Well, at least doesn't make for good viewing. Keep the viewers on their seats with the last tenable. So I got Watford wrong.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, let's... Okay, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say Leicester City.
Leicester City are also not tenable, unfortunately. I think they won the league the season they came up, if I'm not mistaken. They're probably going to do the same again this season.
Yes.
Yes. Just over a minute left now. Two guesses left.
Yeah, I really
throwing
don't
some
know.
names out.
Let's... I really don't know. This is the thing. So, I don't know why, but
The championship knowledge has stumped you.
Yeah. I will go for Cardiff City.
Cardiff City are not tenable either, unfortunately. 30 seconds left. One incorrect guess left. 2 points on the board. Throw some names out. Teams are always going up and down. There's one in particular who are always going up and down. Known for it.
In my head, the other team I can think of was Watford.
5 seconds left.
Southampton.
And Southampton are not tenable either, unfortunately.
No, I didn't have a clue.
I think they also won the league when they came up.
Didn't have a clue.
2 points on the board. Maybe that was. I think if you know the championship, that's probably like medium difficulty. But I think I would find that quite difficult trying to remember specifically which teams.
Yeah.
So in 2022 it was Forest. In 2021 it was Brentford. 2020 was Fulham. 2019 was Villa. 2016 was Hull, which you did mention.
Yeah.
2015 was Norwich. That was the team I was referring to. The team always going up and down.
Haven't been in the Premier League for a while. I completely forgot about Norwich.
Yeah. 2014 QPR and 2013 was Crystal Palace.
Well, the thing is...
So 2 points.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember...
4 point gap now.
I was trying to remember the game specifically. I just couldn't remember any games from the playoffs. I was just like... I remember... I think the two-legged playoff semi-finals are sometimes more memorable than the actual finals. I just couldn't remember any of the finals.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
I think that as well.
So, 4 to draw, 5 to win. And I think... you might get this. I think you should get this. So, Toby, for the win, I would like you to name me the 10 highest goal scorers in 2023 in Europe's top 10 leagues. Your time starts now.
Top how many leagues?
Top 10.
Top 10. Okay. For
Europe.
2023. Oh, you know what? I reckon I can get this. Harry Kane.
He is second with 43 goals.
Haaland has got to be in there.
Are you saying Haaland?
I am saying Haaland.
That is tenable. He's first with 44.
Okay, nice. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Mbappe's in there.
He is third with 42. Oh, you,
No,
you,
I said
oh,
he was
oh,
third.
yeah.
No. I was
Yeah.
locking him in. Okay, right. Now I've got to think elsewhere. Right. Not a lot of forwards have scored lots of goals. Is it just league goals or is this all comps?
League goals
Okay.
in 2023.
Oh, the top 10 leagues as well. Is the Championship a top 10 league? Because I think...
No.
Okay, nice. That's good.
The top tier of any country.
Right, okay. Is the Saudi league in there?
No.
Okay, nice, thanks. Right.
It's hard enough without you guessing the wrong league.
Let's go for Salah.
He is there. He's number 10 with 30 goals.
So that's my 4. I need a point now to win. Right.
You're getting no clues.
Okay. I know Guirassy has scored loads of goals, but I'm pretty sure that's only this season.
One
Right.
minute.
Let's go for Lautaro Martinez.
And with that, he's won it.
Yes.
Number 5, 37 goals. You made this still going. You got 45 seconds.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Let's go for. God, I'm struggling to think. I'm trying to think if there's any Portuguese league players, or Belgian or Dutch. I'm struggling to think, to be honest. Lewandowski, maybe. Let's throw him in there.
That is not tenable, I'm afraid.
Benzema, maybe.
Also not tenable.
No, fair enough. Any other Bundesliga Serie A? Honestly, not that I can think of. Osimhen, maybe?
Nope, that is incorrect, and your time is now up.
That's fine. I will take 5. That's all I needed.
If only... I only got 2 on the championship one. If I only got 1 more. Oh, dear. But
That makes it 82 to 83. What were the names I was missing on that one, just out of curiosity?
So, in number 4, you're missing Santiago Jimenez of Feyenoord with 37.
I was going to say him, but I thought he'd only done it this season. He's Mexican, isn't he?
Yes, 37 goals. Same as Martinez. In 6 was Mario Icardi with 36 for Galatasaray.
Galatasaray. Fair enough, yeah.
So I'll skip set. I'll go to number 8, which is the Luke de Jong with 32 goals. Former Newcastle striker. Plays with PSV.
PSV, yeah.
And number 7 and 9, I can't really pronounce their names, I'll be honest. Number 7 plays for AZ Alkmaar. Vangelis Pavlidis.
Oh, the Greek striker, yeah. I was looking at the Eredivisie's top scorers today, and Jimenez and again, I don't know his name, the Greek striker, were both on there, and I was gonna say them.
Yeah, well, you should have.
For them. I should have gone for them.
And number 9 plays for Ghent. Hugo. I'll just say Hugo. I'm not going to try and say his last name.
Big man Hugo.
Yeah. Hugo. But there we go. That is tenable. Toby wins.
That is tenable. The season of tenable on the Football Fellowship podcast goes to myself. Mev won the Football Only Connect. I have won by a point in Football Tenable to make it 1-1. So next episode we will have a new season of quizzes. What that may be, we don't know. It could be Only Connect, could be Tenable again, could be something brand new. But we will have 10 episodes of that quiz ready to battle it out and try get another quiz season victory.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to Toby. Makes it 1-1. But you'll have to wait out. We'll have to watch next week. Yeah. To figure out what we do.
See what quiz is in store for you to play along.
Yes, but that was it for this week's episode of the Football Fellowship podcast. Just a slightly shorter one because of the fact that there were no league games and just the FA Cup. But we hope you enjoyed, even with the extra tenable as well. Congratulations to Toby. If you're watching to us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. If you are listening to us on Spotify, please give it a 5 stars and answer the questionnaire. Let us know what you thought of the podcast. And we will see you in the next one.